Hello. There's nothing like live shows there, and this is nothing like a live show. Right then, well, we are a slight technical hitch. We have practiced this 100 times, but obviously when it's on the night, it doesn't quite always go to plan. So while we're sorting that out, I will kick off this final bit of the day. As you can see, I've dressed up relatively smartly now. This is I can just about fit in this suit, so I haven't put on that much weight in the lockdown times. So yes, you've had some awesome appetizers, but now it's almost time for the main course. If you've just joined us, then you've missed out on several insightful hours from some of the smartest people and the biggest companies in the business. My name, for those who don't know me, or who've forgotten, or who just can't recognise my svelte form, because I've wasted away so much during lockdown, is Chris James. I'm the CEO of Still Media, that publishes PocketGamer.biz, PocketGamer.com, PD Connects conferences, and multiple leading events, awards, and pitches for the games industry. And I'm here again to unveil shortly, fingers crossed, I hope, the 11th annual Top 50 Game Makers list. So this is designed to celebrate the most innovative, creative, and successful companies in the space. And yeah, and if you're on the list, it means you are truly one of the leading players in the mobile games industry right now.
We're hoping it's going to work.
Regardless of your size or your commercial success. If you didn't make it onto this list, it doesn't mean that you aren't an incredible business. It doesn't mean you aren't worthy of accolade, or even that you didn't pay us enough in bribes. Unrelatedly, sponsorship for PDC Digital Helsinki's is still available, so you've still got a week to get in for that. It certainly doesn't mean that we don't love you or cherish you or value what you contribute. This is an incredibly competitive industry with a relentless pace of development. So it just means that either there were a few businesses that just edged ahead of you this time, according to our metrics, or that frankly, we just got it all wrong and we're a bunch of idiots. You can insert whatever solution you prefer. On that note, I'd like to touch a little bit quickly on how we do calculate these lists. And I say we, but in truth, as with much of Still Media's operations, there is precious little that I actually contribute to the process. The listing is curated. The listing is created by the Still Media editorial team, and the process we begin with a long list where we get, which is getting longer each year. We typically end up with around 100 or so companies to begin with, have a shout of being included, and then we go through and rate them on a number of factors, including commercial success, industry influence, general activity, growth in the last 12 months, innovation, potential, and also critically the critical quality of their games. And then what we do is we lock the editors in a room together for several days without food or water, as we will find is best. And they're only really allowed to come out once they've agreed. Like any subjective system, especially one based on food and sleep deprivation, it's not perfect. There are tough decisions to be made, and potentially even the odd mistake here and there. Plus, there are different elements that come to bear each year. This year, for instance, we've made a conscious effort to try and open the doors to some small independent studios, and to reflect the impact that Apple Arcade, for instance, has had. We've also tried to bring in some of the more mid-level studios that are doing interesting work that might have previously gone unnoticed, because we weren't making quite the big bucks as some of the bigger players. And we've had to deal with quite a lot of consolidation, as plenty of the companies that were in the previous lists have been acquired or merged one way or another. The result of all this is that we have no less than 18 new entries or re-entries in the list. But of course, as I said before, there are still plenty of amazing studios that didn't quite fit. I did suggest that perhaps we should expand it to a top 100. The team muttered something about the moon on a stick. I don't know what it means, but then it went back to work, so we didn't get around to that. So hopefully, I'm going to check with my VT team. How are we doing? Thumbs up? Are we good? It looks like we're nearly there. We had slight technical, as we are wont to do. How are we doing? We're getting a thumbs up. They're just working in the background. They'll give me a thumb very shortly. So I want to kind of, I'm going to do a quick commercial break. I was going to do it in video format, but I shall do it in audio format whilst we're waiting now. And to say a huge thank you to our sponsors, and a few cheeky shout outs for upcoming events that we've got coming up. So thank you to Microsoft and G-Star, who've been the gold sponsors event. Really appreciate that. And a quick shout out again to some of the events we have kind of coming up. We have the Game Makers Survey in association with the Non-Intrusive Ad Specialist Adimo, which is closing this week. So as you are game makers, you want to share your insight on how studios are doing and help us make that survey super effective and reflective, then please please fill it out. You can win a pair of tickets to a PGC Digital or PGC Connects live event. You can hold it for whenever you want. We're also working with these amazing guys at G-Star. We saw Don speaking earlier, which is Korea's leading games industry event, and truly the most accessible entry point to the Asia Pacific market. So that's taking place from the 19th of November. We'll have a site called go to gstar.com, which will be going live shortly, and you can already buy discount or package tickets for PGCD and G-Star together through our Eventbrite systems at the moment. And that leads me on to say that in just 2 weeks, on the 14th of September, PG Connect Digital Helsinki will be opening its virtual doors and welcoming around 1,500 delegates and 300 speakers and 6 fringe events and everybody and Uncle Tom Cobbley and all to come and enjoy the usual PG Connect's goodness. So I am reliably informed, fingers crossed, that we can play the opening video and continue with the process. So I'm going to give the nod. That's the nod. Okay, so there's a little taster. That's not the top 50. That would be super quick. So so yes, just before we get in, I want to give a quick shout out to the people most responsible for this list, which are of course the editors. We'll scroll through the Microsoft again, please, Microsoft and G-Star. We can switch through those. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm doing this remotely, and there we go. There's the visual ads now. I was in with the audio, radio advertising before the video started. Cool. Cool. So yes, as I said, I want to give a shout out to the people most responsible for the list, and here we are. Here are the people, the editorial teams. I usually make a remark at this point that the editor of the site, who most drives this process, to be honest, is not ever actually there. So all the feedback and fury is kind of funneled towards me in their absence. That was the case with our previous 5 editors here. There's John, Stu, Keith, Craig, and John again. And it remains the same this evening with our latest editor, Rick. There he is. Look at him in all his glory there, and one of his beautiful check shirts. Not only has Rick taken to, he's not just hiding in the back room or not turning up to say, Rick's actually decided to brave the pandemic and go on holiday this week. So before anybody asks, I am not above providing details of his hotel in return for suitable compensation. But yes, Rick will be available for grilling on his return next week. Next up, I wanted to very quickly just put a bit of context of where we've come. This is the 11th outing of the top 50 list. And over the years, we've featured over 220 companies in the list. There's just a few of them there. When we started back in 2009, there was here we go. This is a look at the market back in 2009. That you can see the penetration here. Here's some of the leading smartphones. Although the Apple iPhone 3GS and Motorola Droid were out and in the top 10, There were considerably lower down the list than the likes of the Nokia 5230, the Samsung Tucker, the LG Cookie, we'll remember that one, and of course, ever-present BlackBerry from RIM. And the Apple Store and the Android market really just launched then, and at the time there was only really a handful of apps, certainly in the hundreds rather than millions, and available at only at premium prices. Our first top 10, you can see some of the titles that were leading those. Our first top 50 rather was dominated by a combination of those who took advantage of the new tech, like Fireman, Lima Sky, and Tapulous, and some more established names who transitioned from the previously dominant feature phone technology, so EA, Gameloft, and Glue notably. But right there, back then, sort of making a few million was considered a huge success. Suffice to say, times changed pretty rapidly to the extent that really only 5 of the companies from the initial list back in 2009 actually remain today in anything like that. There's some similar form. Some of them have been consumed and sort of disappeared entirely, of course. But today's industry is dominated by smart technology that can give your PC and console a run for its money, and the incredible diversity of games from hyper-casual Twitch challenges to passive clickers through casual puzzles, mid-core battlers, right through to full-on console quality for first-person shooters is just incredible. And obviously, the prize for success today is somewhat larger. You know, $1 million isn't cool; $1 billion is cool. And obviously, the industry has leapt forward dramatically in this time, as fortunately has the quality of graph drawing. Back from the single-digit billions in 2000s, early 2000s, we're now forecasting a market around 80 billion this year, and many think that will be a low forecast back due to the engagement with through the COVID crisis. And in 2020, we are again the absolute undisputed largest sector of the games industry. Of course, not everything has changed for the better. This will be last couple of years. This is an insight of what we've been doing right about now. There would have been champagne. I do have the champagne. And canapes and you know, and lovely face-to-face contact there, which we don't get. Look at, there's some lots of smiling, happy faces. We handed out those certificates. And this kind of brings us right up to date to last year, where we proudly handed to Bernard the #1 shot. And I was wearing the same tuxedo. Look, I haven't grown that much over the year, so there we go. But that's enough of the preamble. You've waited, you've braved the technology. I think it's time for us to let you off the tenterhooks and to finally see who's placed where. And the way it's going to work is we have a video rundown, which will feature the kind of 10 sections, as in 50 to 41, 40 to 31, etc., broken into segments. And it'll be it'll probably go by pretty quick. So you might blink and you miss it. So feel free to you know, digitally share or interact in the chat room if there's games or companies you like and love, or things you're absolutely appalled by. I stress I won't be going through each in turn explaining why they're there. We will be providing a lot more explanation of the rankings in the listings article. Will go live later this evening on PG.biz, and the digital guide will be circulating to all of you in the next couple of days. And then we're going to have a quick break when we get to 11, just a quick pause to catch our breath and reflect before we launch into that all-important final 10. So hopefully that all made sense. Sorry I had to rush through all that, but we are running a little bit late, so let's crack on. So on that note, can we see the video, please, of 50 to 11? Fantastic. We literally practice all day today, but obviously as soon as you do it live, it does slightly screw you. We're going to try that again. I do apologize. We are going to turn that again, try that again. I'm not really sure why that's suddenly occurred. We had a text swap around. We will get all this live on the site. I'm so sorry. We've been practicing this all day. It's the denouement of the day, the high point. We shall try and get the video live once again for the final, checking down to the last 10. There we go. We got through that anyway. I'm not sure, not sure why it didn't work somewhere, but we got through it. You saw the top 50. I don't know about you, but I need a bloody drink after that. So I shall be having just a little something before we get into the top 10. Razor glasses persistence. Our tech team is sweating buckets, but they're trying their best to pull this off. So yeah, well, that was exciting, wasn't it? When it finally worked, there was certainly a few surprises in there, I'm sure. As I've said, any questions of any of the selections will be hopefully answered once the site is updated. But rick.cowley@steelmedianetwork.com can also be asked, or you can catch him at the Blue Oyster Inn, somewhere in the Algarve. I don't know where he is. So before the final 10 are revealed, I'd like to say another thanks to our sponsors, Microsoft and G-Star, who have been fantastic through all this, who's supporting us to pull this off. I will stress, Microsoft did not supply technology. We can't blame them for that one. But now we are into the final bit, which is the final 10. These are the companies that have gone over and above in the last 12 months to shape the direction and point the future of the industry. We'll again have a video playing. It's a short video, so hopefully we'll get through it, fingers crossed. And after that, then we will reveal who is the top 10 and who is the #1 mobile game maker of 2020. So over we go. Let's have the video and fingers crossed. Well, there we go. In at 10, we had Playrix. 9, Activision Blizzard King. Supercell were down to a little bit at 8, still killing it though. Brand new entry for SCA Garena at 7, doing incredibly well in emerging markets with their Free Fire game. Then at 6, we had Roblox again, absolutely murdering it, fantastic. My son's absolutely addicted. Scopely storming up the charts this year with some new acquisitions and just an incredible performance from the evergreen titles. Niantic at #4, managed to thrive with a location-based game when no one could leave the house. Full respect, I think that should, worthy of every plaudit going. They've got lots of new activities on the way as well. Tencent had a few challenges, a lot of tension between various markets at the moment internationally, but still remains the absolute daddy and as obviously has shares in most of the rest of the top 50 anyway. But was just picked this year by NetEase, who just eased ahead in the battle of the Chinese giants. Again, you will see the reasoning and some of the rationale for this in the article later, so don't ask me, I didn't even put it together. So, which brings us to the finale, and the last bit of the video, thank God, which will be, who is at #1? Can you guess? Can you possibly guess who is at #1? Can we play the video, please, for #1? It is, of course, a Zynga, who have followed up last year's #1 with a second in a row. How do you follow up a breathtaking year where you could drop $2 billion on acquisitions, continue to smash your numbers, and still find time to experiment on new platforms? Absolutely incredible, incredible performance by Zynga and very worthy winners. I don't know if Bernard is still around to say hello. Put your hand up if you are, sir. I know we've got on a little bit late. 2 years in a row, so my gorgeous assistants will add you back in if you are. So yeah, I mean, what can we say? 50 amazing companies, hundreds more companies didn't quite make it, but 2 years in a row for Zynga is a hell of an achievement. But worthy winners, definitely. I think they're continuing to show how a company can turn around from earlier struggles and really push ahead. I want to say a huge congratulations to them. A huge thanks to our sponsors, Microsoft and G-Star. You can continue the chats in the Discord, and we do have a little digital reception, which a link to which will be placed in the window now. So those that have stuck around all day and put up with our tech challenges, probably it's at least you deserve it. It's to pop into. It's a thing called spatial chat. It's new technology. But I've had enough technology today. So I think Bernard might be popping along. Is he coming? Bernard's popping in. Let me see. I have to have. I can't do it myself. I need my gorgeous assistants to kind of add him in. They're trying to log him in. So you can hang around for 5 seconds. I can say a few words from the wonderful Bernard Kim. We obviously heard from him earlier. That wasn't any reason we heard from him earlier. I stress. He was also. They were the winners last year, and he was named a mobile legend. So he's had a bit of a storming year, all told. Yes. So I think, as I say, apart from Bernard popping in to say a few words, I think that's pretty much all she wrote for this year. Terribly sorry about technological problems. We never happened in the like 100 times we tested it before. So I'll go and kick a cat and resolve it there. But yeah, huge congratulations coming in from people in the chat for them. I don't think we're going to get to Bernard today, so we might just push people into the drinks. Oh, have we got someone coming in? Oh, Alina. Oh, thanks, Alina. Congratulations, Alina. There's a lot of congratulations from various people. Do we have? We do have Bernard. He's there. Oh, Bernard. Save me, Bernard. Technical. Save me from the technical delights. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much. On behalf of Zynga and the Zynga family of companies, we could not be more honored and thrilled to win again this year. This is a crowning achievement for the company. So we could not be happier to be on this list with such a great list of companies, and also in mobile gaming, which is the awesomest place to be right now. Thanks so much.
Fantastic. That's brilliant. You saved me from further tech things. The whole thing went all brilliantly all afternoon, and then suddenly, as soon as it is obviously the way of the world. As soon as you turn up. Turn it on, everything goes wrong. But thank you so much, and I hope you all have more technical success than us. So those of you in the during the after party, I'll see you afterwards for the little chat. For everyone else, have a fantastic evening. Thank you for your attention and your love today, and I hope you continue to thrive in this amazing industry of ours. And I really, 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 really hope that this time next year I get to raise a glass to you all and celebrate face to face in Cologne. Have a fantastic evening, guys. Thank you very much. Chris drops mic.